name is Mandi. Most people call me Mixtape Mandi. I book shows, I promote shows, I write about shows. I used to play in a band, so I've just kind of been all over in the scene, just still trying to figure out like what exactly is my niche, but I'm just kind of everywhere right now. I have two favorite mixes. One of my favorites was the first mix that I ever got, and it was actually in mixtape form. I was obsessed with the book turned movie, Perks of Being a Wallflower. And in that story, there's a character, Charlie, who it's really hard for him to make friends, and he's kind of an outcast, and he deals with mental illness. And the best way that he can tell someone exactly what's going on in his head is by making mixtapes for his friend. I identified with that character. Like, there are so many things that like I wish I could tell someone, but it's hard to tell them, so I'll find 15 to 20 songs that kind of talk about what I want to tell someone. When that movie came out, the guy that I was dating at the time made an actual mixtape for me. And on that tape, he put 11 songs of things that he listens to whenever he needs to feel better. And I still have that tape with me, and it's a tape that I've held on to for such a long time. Another mix that I really like is a mix CD a couple years ago. And it was similar, where it was like songs that someone was trying to tell me a message, but there was one song in particular that stuck out to me. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh my God, what song is this? And who is this singing? To this day, it's one of my favorite songs, and I always tell that person, like, thank you so much for introducing the song to me. This is the second mixtape exchange that I am putting together. The first one I threw was about 2 years ago, and it was a lot of like really close friends and families, and then the bands who performed, their close friends and families. And I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. You know, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, all right, I did this thing, I hope people like it. And like the next day, people were posting on the event page, oh my God, who made this dance mix? I love it. I listened to it on the way home. It's one of my favorite like albums now. And it was so cool to see the people responding of, oh, I made that. Oh, that's so great. What other music do you recommend? And like people actually meeting and talking about their favorite music. So it's more of like a community-based event. The intent is to walk out with a random strangers mix, and who knows what that person can throw on a mix for you. I just encourage people to make mixes that you would want someone to walk out with. Make a dance mix. Make a mix of, like, choose your 20 favorite artists of all time, and then choose your favorite song from each of those artists. Or a mix that reminds you of your parents, or like the music that you grew up with. Like, choose something that you think that a stranger is going to really appreciate and say like, oh my God, I love this song. I wonder who sings it. I want to find out more about this music. It's a way for people who don't necessarily know how to get involved in the music scene to come out and check out some of the local bands that are playing. So the bands that I have on the bill for the Mixtape Exchange are an acoustic act called Speakeasy. There's a pop-punk garage type band called Genre. And then there's this psychedelic jazz influenced band, Harrison Fjord. There's also an artist touring through Phoenix from Seattle, Kathleen Murray. She's going to be playing as well. So the event is supposed to feel like a mixtape. You know, there's jazz, there's singer-songwriter, there's punk, there's just so many things that are happening. While you're at the show, you get to experience all these great bands that are playing, and then at the end of the show, you walk out with the random strangers mix, and it's in the hopes that you'll find your next favorite song or your next favorite band. I mean, I can just speak from experience that when someone gives me a mix, I go into it sort of blindly, like not really knowing what to expect. And there have been so many mixes that I've received where I've found my favorite song, or I found an artist that like I've heard of but haven't really had the chance to dive into their music. And so this gives people that chance to do that.